First off, I feel like I should give a disclaimer. Let's be clear. What you're about to hear or read is simply the opinions of yours truly, Blondie C. No person that I be with or anyone that I'm affiliated with has anything to do with this. This is strictly me. And so without further ado, the 17th worst Dade County artist of 2016. I could not do this list without including Mr. Blow a Check, Zoe Dollars. Now, some of you may remember him from back in the days. He was part of the freestyle battle circuit and really dope with the straight killing.
She said, who he think he is? He think he Hugh Hefner? Well, I'ma get pregnant, see who could do better. His ass better look out for them child support letters.
Now, we did see him with Jim Jones' Damp Life Movement, but, it wasn't making as much noise as to when he dropped the single, Blow a Check. That song set Dade County streets on pure fire. I don't care where you went, you heard this song. If you were in the strip clubs or if you were on South Beach, you're going to hear that song, Blow a Check. If you get into your car and turn on the radio, you're going to hear Blow a Check. It was just no way around it. The song caught so much traction. The next thing I know, we got P. Diddy and French Montana on the remix, okay? They shot the video and everything. And with that move, that took also Zoe and the song to the next level. And what happens when you level up? Here comes the beef. Well, the first beef that I heard about was him and Lil Dread. Now, Lil Dread is another local artist that was actually on the list last year. He had wrote a diss track about Zoe, and honestly, I didn't hear Zoe respond to it at all. Then, even more recently, a couple of days ago, Tip Drill, which is an artist that's on the list this year, she shot some pretty heavy blows towards Zoe via IG. Now, I'll be honest, I won't be surprised if he doesn't respond to her either, because from what I see, this kid is on a mission, and really, addressing beef is just not on the agenda. He has recently signed a Future, and every time I look around, he is somewhere else in another country, another venue. He's on BET, he's on Sirius XM. Like, he is the only artist from Miami that has had an interview on The Breakfast Club, okay? He's also had an interview with Hot 97. He was actually nominated for XXL's Freshman of the Year, and word on the streets, and you did not, I repeat, you did not hear this from me, but word on the streets is he's up for winning that award next year. So yeah, addressing beef is not what this kid is trying to do. He's on other singles with other people's songs. He is putting in hella work. So he's got a new song that he just released called Bad Tings, and it is got a hella buzz. Zoe is a good look for the Zoes and for Dade County.
Do you like the body? Do you give it a while? Can I touch your body? Oh, what's your name? Can you run the window whip, start switching lanes? All bad things with my bad bitches. All bad things with my bad teams.
Jimmy Dade. Now, Jimmy Dade was on my list last year. I think this man is a complete fucking genius, right? Musically. I mean, he produces, he raps, and I really don't understand why he's not further. Like, I envision him being like an Akon during the time when Akon was, super booming. I know he's had like management deals with like Flow Rider, and he's, done a lot of different things, and I thought he had kind of fell off, but I see that now he's got the Hell Yeah tour, and he's been doing stuff, still pumping out good music and pumping out visuals. Now, what I hope for him is that, that he'll possibly do a visual that's different than what everybody else is doing. His music is already outside the box, but, I think that maybe back it up with the visuals and do more traveling, which I suggest for everybody in Dade County. Definitely traveling is the answer.
I really put on shit. Said I'll make it, I'ma do it. Devil trying to bring me down, I'ma rebuke it. If you can't hustle, better get a job. And bitch, by the way, my name Kid Omar.
Kid Omar.
I'm in the field.
Now, I wasn't familiar with him. I had put out a post and said, who are the hottest artists in Dade County? And someone told me about Kid Omar. So I went and checked him out. And I'm saying, wow, he reminds me of Jimmy Dade. And the person that told me about him, I said, you know what? This guy reminds me of Jimmy Dade. He was like, well, maybe because they both are from North Miami, and, they have the same struggles. And I said, you know what? No, I mean, I don't really know about that, but I'm talking about the cadence, the delivery, the flow. I saw the similarities. Now, don't get me wrong. I think, there's billions of people on the planet, and there's room for all of us to have fans, right? So I don't see anything wrong with him doing what he's doing. He actually has a huge fan base. He's got a new song with Steph LaCour. I think the song is dope as shit. And I really enjoy it, and I enjoy his music. I seen him doing performances at school, and I seen the kids going crazy over him. So, it's Kid Omar.
He is the biggest thing in NNG. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for my little brother.
All these hoes finna do Miami wanna be my looking. Stuck, fuck, woo. This a hot 16, pussy tight 16. Princess cutting my rings, all hail new queen. Bitches always wanna shave me, baby hairs be so wavy. Baby daddy wanna taste me, dash doing 180.
These stuck. We're sticking with the ladies right now. So I remember seeing her doing like some freestyles online before, like maybe a year or two ago, and freestyles were really dope. I was like, okay. And then, but at the time, she wasn't really working with anybody that I saw, or putting out any music that I saw. Then I saw that she was a part of the Vamp Life thing with Jim Jones. I couldn't think of his name because he's Jim Jones. But yeah, so I saw her being a part of that, and I was like, okay, cool. That's cool. And now I see she's working with somebody that I know, was producing some artists, earlier on, a couple of years back. And I see she's doing her thing. She's making varied videos, and her whole image has changed. She's gotten real sexy. The lyrics were already there, but I think she had to work on the image factor. And it's crazy because for women have to go above and beyond, right? They can't, because guys could be ugly as shit, right? And they could still come out and make music. But girls, we have to go through this whole big thing of being the perfect woman and shit. But she looks great. She looks fantastic. And, I definitely salute her. And I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what she has to bring out 2017.
Ain't nothing to a nigga like me who getting money and ain't living like this, boy, I swear to God. I wish a nigga try me for a sucker, I'ma bust him and leave his old girl with a broken heart. Yeah, I'm on a killing off the block. That's why I ride with the choppers on deck. I drop the top like a sky.
All crazy. He was on my list last year. And I did say last year that I thought that, because he was, I guess like hanging around with people like Flo Rida and shit, he got a little Hollywood. But I see that he had, like I said, came back down to earth and got back down to, the nitty gritty, the things that people really loved about him. And then he did the project with Jim Jones as well. And he's just doing his thing. I see he's on tour now. And like I said, I always suggest that for artists, you got Dade County already. Move around, visit other places, go to other places, spread your wings and fly, motherfuckers, fly. And so I see he is doing that. Let me tell you something. He's a thirst trap though. He's got them lips. Like, I don't even like red dudes, but I will look at a greasy video and just fucking have imagination. Like, way. Like, he has those lips that, he knows what he's doing. He knows exactly what those lips are doing to people. Shouts out to you, Greasy.
We here to make money. Anything else is pretty much something that we don't need to be involved in.
To tell the truth, the mother bitches, they just separate. Me and my sister, we some savages. We some savages. Mona Vinci, Nina.
The Stepsisters. It's funny because the first time I seen them perform was it was a couple of years ago. It was at Take One Lounge, and They were actually doing a remix of No Shown by the kid Lil Dread, right? Who was on my list last year, by the way. And you know, when you're in a club and you've never heard a song, you can't really hear every lyric that someone is saying. But what got my attention the most was the fact their performance. The performance was so hype. One of them jumped off the stage and jumped onto the bar. And I was like, go ahead, girls. You know, I was so excited. I was like, damn. I ended up, actually talked to them and I was like, come to my show. That's when I was doing an Extortion show on 89.1 FM. And needless to say, we never actually linked up. But I hadn't heard anything from them for a couple of years. And I decided, when I seen them recently, I was like, dang, okay, they're still doing their thing. And from my understanding, they have signed a management deal with Chuck from Po' Boy. Now, everyone knows that he has a formula to create success. So I look forward to see what these ladies are doing. They just released a new project called Savage Sisters. And it is rightfully titled. Like, seriously, the lyrics are gutter. You could tell they come from the hood. And these ladies' fashion sense are definitely eye-catching. So I look forward to what they're going to be doing in the next few years, definitely.
After I put my tape out, I offered to help you shape up. I see that you rather flake out, selling stories on them tracks that nobody could seem to make out. That's why I keep a good head and shoulders to keep all the flakes out. Seen a lot of singles chart on and off during the climb up. I bet if I had the clippers, they probably all had a lineup. You worry about your followers, so hurt without follow-ups. The ones with the most pride end up being the swallows. Fuck a beat for a verse.
Kent Jones. Now, don't fight me, but, he might be from Broward. Damn. If he's from Broward, y'all forgive me. But he is so freaking talented. He's got that song, Don't Mind. And that song is burning a hole in the fucking world. People all around the country are singing that song. He is performing on huge platforms. I seen him at BT. I seen him, on TV. He's doing it big with that song. And see, I've interviewed him before. And although he has that song, a lot of his other music is really not on the same lines as that song. He produces. He can play instruments. He is a cool kid. All right. I shouldn't say this. Okay, I'm not going to say what I was about to say. Keep it to yourself, B. Alright, I'm going to keep it to myself. I talk to myself sometimes. But anyway, this kid is extremely talented. So shouts out to you, Kent Jones. We see you, boy. Keep doing your thing.
2013, I got stabbed. I lost my life. I died while I was in. I met this dude named Frank Castle. Yeah, that's my nigga. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He seen something in me. And he told me something, he inspired me. It was like, when you get out, bro, you got it. And coming from another artist, I say, damn, I might really do got it.
40 Gordy. Also brought to me by, somebody on Instagram. Somebody who I, respect their opinion on music and stuff. So I went and checked them out. This kid reminds me of rock star shit. Like his voice, if you have, listened to any rock music, he's got that rock star voice. The beats that he used are pretty dope, and definitely relatable. He's definitely from the streets. And he had this line like, I was broke and I had to fix that shit. And I feel like we can all relate, unless you were born with a silver spoon in your mouth, okay. Maybe you can't relate. But his music is relatable. And definitely, the beats and delivery are hard as shit. So, 40 Gordy, 2016. Lee Major, The Mac. Now, the first time I interviewed him, which was many, many years ago, I remember that same night, I got a surprise visit from Wacko, right? I didn't know Wacko was coming, but Lee Major was coming the same time. And he brought a liter of Hennessy, and we chilled out with Wacko. He was cool as fuck. And back then, my filter was like negative 100. I was worse. I was much worse. But he held with the punches, stayed cool, stayed down, had good music then. He ended up getting locked up for a while and came back out, going harder than ever. And, you know, I see him. I see what he's doing. He's got a new project out right now. New single called 24. It's all about the grind. And I think it's really relatable because people tend to forget that we all get the same hours in a day. No one gets any extra. So what you're doing with those 24 hours is your fucking business. If you're not where you want to be, you maybe need to change what you're doing with those 24. And I think that song really is the epitome of, you know, the grind, the hustle. And so to Lee Major, the Mac, I salute you. You are on the list.
Did it all, did it big, did the KOD, did the live, made a meal before I even had a kid, and all this time I'm thinking, man, this shit shouldn't exist, but here it come, there it is, I won't wild out, I won't trip, I'm just running around looking for some money I could flip, I'll be damned if I ever die, regular bitch, but damn, they still hate it.
To Tip Drill, aka Miami Tip. She was extremely popular for being one of the main dancers at the world famous KOD. Now, even more popular when she took that fall, tragic fall. It was like from 20 or 30 feet up in the air from the pole. And, you know, it's not really clear how she fell or why she fell because, of course, she'd done it a million times before. And, you know, but the fall caused her to say, okay, hey, listen, I'm not going to dance anymore. I remember it was real bad. I know her mouth was wired shut, and it took a while for the recovery. And I had seen her actually doing waitressing, and I also saw her dance a few times after that, but I think now she's more than ever focused on just her music. And I saw her also doing the Street and Greet tour with Bigger Rankins, and he's very huge with introducing artists to the streets and stuff like that. And then she also has a new single out with Fetty Wap. Now, there's been strippers in the past that have tried to move over to doing music that haven't been very successful, but there are some that have been hugely successful, like for example Eve, and she's never, you know, tried to downplay the fact that she was a dancer, and I think she also said she did porn as well, and she made a huge career out of, you know, music and even acting as well. And then also someone that you may not know that is hugely successful is Lady Gaga. So she is living proof that it can be done. So I think that as long as, you know, the fact that Tip already knows just about everybody in the industry, I think all she needs to do is she has a huge fan base. As long as she makes music that people want to hear, she'll do great. So in 2017, we look forward to seeing what Miami Tip has. First off, I feel like I should give a disclaimer. Let's be clear. What you're about to hear or read is simply the opinions of yours truly, Blondie C. No person that I be with or anyone that I'm affiliated with has anything to do with this. This is strictly me. And so without further ado, the 17th worst Dade County artist of 2016.
27-year-old Miami native Lunch Money Lewis scored a breakout hit with his song Bills. Al loved it so much, he even made his own version of the video. Lunch Money Lewis's version, by the way, has nearly 32 million hits on YouTube. Good morning to you. How'd you get this name, Lunch Money Lewis?
Oh, Lunch Money was a good friend of mine, Salam Remy. I was really young, and he was like, man, if I was like a chubby kid like you, I call myself Lunch Money. And Lewis is my real last name, so I just put it together, Lunch Money Lewis.
Now, Lunch Money Lewis is a part of the legacy of Inner Circle, like bad boy, what you gonna do? Yeah, like they have the, you know, the recording studio where everybody named Mama comes and records at. And I knew that he was making tracks and also doing some writing for people. As a matter of fact, he actually had given me a CD with some tracks on it a long time ago, and I remember somehow I lost it. And I went to him, I'm like, you know, I lost the CD with the tracks on it. He was pissed. He would not give me no more. He was like, no. But, you know, since then, I think he's definitely moving out of the shadows of, you know, being a part of the legacy family and making a mark of music on his own. Because I was actually riding down the street one day listening to Y100, and I heard the song Bills come on Y100. And I'm like, hold up. You know, they only play top 40 music, so I went into some research and found out that this song was #1 on the charts in the UK and freaking Australia, top of the charts in New Zealand. Like, he was really doing his thing. I know since then he's wrote for like Meghan Trainor, a huge pop star. Also, the group Fifth Harmony. So he is definitely doing his thing, and like I said, making his own name in music. So I think 2017 is very promising for Mr. Lunch Money Lewis.
So, is there anybody we should be looking out for to join the MMG family? It is young Skrilla, at Skrilla MMG, SCRILLA MMG. Yeah, he got a powerful story from Miami. I was in a situation a few years back where some gunshots were fired in my car. And, you know, it was maybe a week later, and I heard about some other dudes from my city who had 30 AK rounds fired in their car. And Skrilla, unfortunately, he got hit, you know, in the car. And, you know, it was a bad thing. But, you know, of course, he made it. And all of the conversation just really made me listen to his music. And when I heard his message, I was like, homie, got something to say. So welcome to MMG, Skrilla. I see you.
I definitely have to include Skrilla on this list. Now, I personally know that he's been on the music grind for at least 10 years. Back then, I used to host this very popular open mic where him and this other guy, which were a group, used to come through every week and totally kill it. Everyone would be out of their seats. The club was crazy, you know, and everyone knew their music and everything. Now, I'm not quite sure why they broke up, but I do know that both of them ended up having to do some kind of prison time. But when he got out, I saw that he was more focused than ever. His total demeanor had changed, and he was beginning to move about with a lot of big names in the industry. Now, even after that, he had another major setback where he was at a video shoot, from my understanding, was over town, and the car that he was in had got shot up really bad, but he was fortunate enough to only be shot in the leg and was able to make a full recovery from that situation. Not far after that, he was signed with MMG. Now, he has not actually released a solo project on MMG, but he has songs with people like Fetty Wap and, of course, Rick Ross. Also, he is on Rick Ross's new album that just dropped called Rather You Than Me. He's on the song called Triple Platinum. So for 2017, I think you better look out for Skrilla.
That's the sound of the dope in the drop. That's how we got here, nigga.
Y'all make some noise for my little homie Skrilla. MMG shit, you already know what it is, man. Let me tell you. Music. Yo, MMG, Port of Miami.
2016.
So you the little nigga getting that bread, huh? Head busting off top, just to show them you ain't scared, huh? Keep 2 outriders by your bed, huh? When they hungry, feed them lead, know exactly how to play, huh? Can't stop fucking with your nose, huh? Do them shows, huh? They know you all across the globe, huh? Keep it 100 with your woes, huh? Had to twinkle up your goals, finally tighten up your drawers, huh? You keep it grateful with them hoes, huh?
Bruno Valli, aka Young Spook. Now, I read somewhere that he said that Bruno Valli was the alter ego of Young Spook. Both of those names are pretty original, and I wonder where the origin of those names come from. I definitely would like to sit down with him and find out. This young man is definitely doing his thing. He's been in the business for a couple of years now, but I think that this year has been one of his biggest years in the music business. First of all, I saw that he had an exclusive interview with mymixtapes.com, and they don't do that too often, so if you are selected and you are featured, it's a big deal. I also saw that he was in XXL's magazine as Florida Artist to Watch. So it's not just Dade County, he's having an effect all across the state. So that's huge as well. Also, I saw that he does something where he puts on his own shows. Like, he'll buy out a venue and sell his own tickets, which is a major difference from people who get booked for these shows at these different clubs and they have their 10 or 20 homeboys who want to get in the club for free. Definitely different from that. So, you know, being able to sell at your own venue right there, it signifies that you're definitely on the right track. I also saw that this year he has a song with Rick Ross, The Biggest Boss. So that's definitely a move in the right direction. He has a song out called Ha, which is a remake of Juvenile's Ha from back in the days. And it is definitely tearing up Dade County streets and, you know, moving on out of the state of Florida as well. So look out for Bruno Valli, aka Young Spook.
For a while now,
goodbye. Won't come down now. I've been high for a while now. Say goodbye. Won't come down now.
If you do not mind listening to music where it's not talking about drugs, it's not talking about killing people, and it's not talking about money, and it's not about impressing people or popping bottles, then move on over to the Backpack Life. Raya. He's entitled Raya's World, okay? This guy is super talented. He plays piano. He reminds me of Lupe Fiasco. That's what he reminds me of. Yeah. Just mellow. I mean, it's the kind of music that you want to just smoke one with and just vibe, relax. You ain't trying to hurt nobody when you listen to this music. You just want to vibe. You just want to enjoy life and relax. He's super talented. Like I said, he produces, he plays piano. And this is a kid that you will find performing at places like Wynwood, you know, and Churchill, you know, places like that indie artist thrives. We call them the backpack kids. It's not about flashy cold clothes, you know, it's not about jewelry and buying bottles and shit. It's about relaxing, enjoying life, and enjoying the people you love, you know? That's Raya. You gotta check him out, definitely. Of 2016.
Niggas never wanted to see me blow. I kept on writing songs, did my thing, drop videos. We used to be slanging O's, bagging the baddest hoes, bragging no one was close. I'm busting the nicest clothes, I'm all about ice, I froze. Remember them nights was cold, I used to be alone. No friends, no home, no bins, no hole, no hats, no gold. Just raps and goals, while mad up hoes, I had them flows, I passed my...
Class Money. Now, I decided to add Class Money to this list for a couple of reasons. Well, for one, I personally know that he's been doing his thing for at least 10 years. Now, I've watched him evolve. He used to have the long dreads, and he went by the name of Class Moolah. He cut off the dreads, and he's grew into being Class Money. I mean, he's always had the ability to rap very well, but I've watched his fan base grow and grow and grow, and he's got those dedicated fans. I'm talking about the kind of fans that comment, that like, that repost his stuff, that listen to his music, and more importantly, that buys the music. I also seen that he's been doing shows overseas, which is always the move. Now, he was with one other record label before, but now I see that he's with Red City Music Group. And I've worked with them with an artist in the past, so I know that they have the financial backing to support his talent. Now, also I saw that he was on a interview with 103.5 The Beat. Now, if you're an artist from Miami, you know it's very difficult to get these stations to even play your music. So to have an interview on these stations is almost unheard of. So he is doing that. So if you don't know about Class Money, you are asleep, and it's time to wake up. Up First, Bust First. Very interesting name. Now, this is what I call a triple threat. He is a rapper, he also produces music, and he's an engineer. Last year, he released a mixtape called Stick Talk, and he does a lot of traveling, and during his travels, he ended up in Atlanta, Georgia, where he was working with Big Boy of Outkast. Now, he believes this is where Future was not only able to hear his Stick Talk, but also still Stick Talk. Ironically, Future did record the video for Stick Talk down here in Miami. Things that make you go, Most recently, he signed a record label deal with Kiss Kiss Bang Bang Records, which also has a distribution deal through Sony. He has most recently also been doing EDM music, and he was one of the main performers at the Ultra Fest. And if you know, the Ultra Fest is a huge event that goes down here in Miami every year. He also is number 4 on Reverb Nation and in the hip hop area in Miami. Also, his new single called Vibe Wrong featuring Shongali has over 20,000 streams as of the date. So, Up First, Bust First, aka U1B1, is definitely doing his thing. 16.
I'm up early in the AM, sometime before the sunrise.
When you mention feel-good music, you gotta mention Spread Love Gang. Their music really defines the name of their group. It's all about spreading love. It's all about unity. It's all about positivity. And there are a couple of people in the group. It's head by Bottles, Belafonte. You got Lady Llama. You got Bobby Phoenix and Tunde. These people, they comprise, and they work with a lot of people. They are constantly doing collabs with other artists, and you can find them performing at places like the Fair. They have that fair-friendly music. They're always at the dope indie spots in Wynwood. They're always at different events. Like, I constantly see them performing somewhere else. And they have the crowd lit. I mean, the crowd goes crazy for these guys. They are really doing their thing. They got this dope single out called Can't Live Without You, and the song is so catchy. The song is so vibing. It's such a laid-back song about love, of course. But I definitely see them doing their thing, definitely with this new single. I know they released a mixtape not too long ago, and I always see them, like, whenever you look at any of their pages, you'll see them performing somewhere else, doing somewhere else. Like, I don't think these people sleep. They're just so busy spreading love. So if you haven't already, make sure you check out the Spread Love Gang.